Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Go So Beautiful. My name's Becky and today I have a Friday Sews video. Thanks to Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room for creating this hashtag and the wonderful sewing community that has resulted from it. It's been a while since I've made a video and I'm going to talk about why when I get to the live portion of this video. But for now, I'm going to talk about the things I have made since my last video. I mentioned I was going to make some swimsuits, and I had planned to make the indigo swimsuit from Sinclair Patterns, but I did not think I had the right lining, so I ordered it and was waiting for it to come in, and it just took too long. So I went ahead and started on another swimsuit, which is Butterick B 5795, and I made view D, and the pattern is rated as easy, as you can see on the back. I do not think this is the easiest pattern there is for swimsuits. The other views might be a little easier, but this one I think had a lot of parts to the lining, which I'll show you, and there was it was a little bit tricky trying to figure out how to sew the lining to the inside of the swimsuit. Here are the line drawings. It does have a view for like bottoms as well as a skirt and a top, and normally I do wear a tankini type swimsuit. I am thinking about making that for another swimsuit, but I wanted to make this one piece just to see how it fit. So I made a size 18 according to my measurements, and it did not have the length, and when I looked at the pattern and was laying it out, it looked fairly large and long. So I did measure myself from my shoulder to my crotch area and matched it, and then measured the pattern, and I thought it was going to be the proper length. But when I tried it on, it did seem a little bit long, so if I ever make this again, I'll probably shorten it. It has a crossover faux wrap front and is gathered at the side on both sides, and that is something I think you could I would probably change if I made it again. When you sew this gathered portion at the side with the lining front to the back, which has the outer fabric and the lining, it just makes it, the gathering makes it really bulky. And since this side it's the same, but it's really covered, you could probably leave the gathers out and just shorten that piece and make it straight, and that might make it a little easier, not so bulky. I did get it all sewn together except for the elastic, and wanted to try it on to see if it was too long or whatever, and discovered it was a lot like one of those tummy control swimsuits. It was very snug. Had really struggled to get it on and off. In fact, I thought I would pop some stitches, but they held up. But I did decide I needed to make it a little bit larger on the sides. So I cut a piece of the outer fabric, about a 2-inch strip, I think, or 1.5. And then I took the front and back side seams apart, and I just stitched that strip to the side seam. Now, when I got up here, when I tried it on again, the armholes were a little bit too big, so I just tapered that strip down so that the armholes wouldn't be so big. Then it was getting close to the time that my sisters and I were going on our beach trip, and so I quickly sewed the elastic into the suit and tried it on. I thought it would be okay, but turned out that the elastic was not tight enough around the armholes and also in the legs. I went ahead and took it with me and thought I'll try to figure something out. And when I put it on, I just realized the straps weren't going to stay up. So I didn't get to wear it at the beach, but I had another swimsuit, so that was no big deal. I did come home. I took all of this stitching out, took the elastic out and shortened it, and then sewed it back together again, and now it stayed up. The shoulders stayed up, and the same with the legs. I actually did those a couple of times, I think, because I just felt like it wasn't tight enough. So I decided to see whether it was really swim worthy, and went to my friend's house yesterday who has a pool, and had intended to film myself getting into the pool. Unfortunately, when I set my camera up, it slipped after I put it up, and all you can see are trees. You can hear me getting in the water, but you can't really see me getting in the water. But so I'll show you a little bit of that just for a laugh. But the suit did hold up very well in the water. Now, when I got out, I did notice this front, the cross where it crosses over at the front, it kind of sagged a little bit and turned to the outside, and then you could see the lining. So I do think that this elastic also needs to be taken up, and I will do that at some point, but just don't feel like picking it apart right now because I've done my fair share of picking apart on this swimsuit. I would rate this swimsuit an A for effort. I do like it and will wear it probably for swimming laps. I don't know that I'll wear it at the beach because it is, once you take it off, it's difficult to get back on when it's wet. As far as the pattern goes, I would give it maybe a B or a C even. It's I'll show you the lining. It's got several pieces for the bra construction, which they do want you to make your own bra cups, and I just sewed the lining for the bra cups together and then put some pre-made bra cups and stitched them in, and that worked fine. But it has quite a few pieces, and not that that's complicated to put together if you follow the directions, but then when you sew the actual lining to the outer fabric, you have to do a little bit of, it's a little bit hard to follow those instructions. So I do like the way it looks on me. Got a picture of me in it. My thighs do need some sunshine, I know, but I think it came out pretty good. So the next thing I sewed was this shirt. This is the Melody Dolman shirt from Love Notions, and it comes in sizes. I bought this a while ago, so I think they have extended the size range. This one is extra small to 3X. I think all Love Notions patterns go up to 5X now. It is made for woven. It has a tie front. You can tie it in the front, and it has a shirt tail hem with a camp style collar. And I've been wanting a little shirt like this, so and I've been wanting to make this particular shirt pattern. Unfortunately, I think I chose the wrong fabric. This is a quilting cotton that I got from Joann a few years ago, and it's just really stiff and kind of scratchy. So as you can see, I've got it finished. Even I've done the buttonholes, but I have yet to sew on the buttons. I pinned them to the shirt too, so I wouldn't lose them. And I even bought a button sewing presser foot, which you can look that up. Where's mine? Here it is. This, I have a Juki sewing machine. I got this from sewingpartsonline.com, and my particular machine, the feet snap on, and then but they all of them look the same. They have this little kind of C shape with a little rubber coating on it, and you put your button under there. Set your stitch selector to zigzag with a length of 0 so that it just goes back and forth, and then the width is determined by how far apart the holes are on your button, and that makes sewing buttons on a little bit easier. I still have not sewn the buttons on because this fabric is just so stiff and scratchy. I'm trying to find some way to soften it up. I think I read somewhere that if you add vinegar to the wash, that will soften it up. I think you would probably need to add something else to get the vinegar smell out. I don't know. I also thought about just soaking it in fabric softener. But if you know of a way to soften up scratchy fabric, cotton, 100% cotton quilting fabric, please leave me a comment. I did do a little other sewing for a friend, and found it difficult to do too much because of what happened to me at the beach, which I'll tell you about in a minute. But I just I've been kind of recovering and lost my sojo a little bit. One thing I did do to kind of get back into the swing of things was listen to a podcast. There are lots of sewing podcasts out there. The one I really enjoyed was Love to Sew, hosted by Carolyn from Blackbird Fabrics and Helen from Helen's Closet Patterns. And I've started listening from the very beginning, so you may have heard a podcast about this, or their podcast, but they talked about two things they talked about. One was being a perfectionist sewer. Are you a perfectionist? And I have to admit that I am a bit of a perfectionist, but I'm trying to get over that. And evidence for that is on my swimsuit here, I caught the fabric a little bit. Where is it? Right here. When I sewed the elastic down, I caught the fabric a little bit, and so there's a little fold there. And the perfectionist part of me would have taken that out and redone it to where there was did not catch the fabric. But the ex-perfectionist, or the recovering perfectionist, has said, just leave it. It's not going to make a difference in how it looks, and nobody's going to notice. So I am a recovering perfectionist, I guess. The other thing is, do you feel like you have to make everything? And the answer is no. I would like to make everything, but I just don't have time. For instance, I'm wearing a ready-to-wear shirt today, and I got it because I liked the style, and I actually do have a pattern that is very similar to this. It's the Pattern Scissors Cloth Galaxy Tee, which I have made, and I think I showed that in other videos. But I bought this because, number one, I wasn't sure how I would look in the Galaxy Tee, and it was just a good way to kind of try out. So and then the other thing is, there's just not enough time in the day to make every single thing that you wear. And I don't feel bad about buying clothes. I do try to buy things at a bargain price. I love a good bargain. I thrift things from time to time. And of course, I do love to sew. So if I see something at the store and think, oh, I can make that, Sometimes I take a picture, I go home, look for a pattern, and then I go ahead and make it. Okay, so what happened at the beach? Well, we got to the beach and checked in, unpacked, went to the grocery store to buy some groceries because we had a condo. And as I was walking out on the sidewalk in front of the store, there was a step down to the pavement which I did not see, and therefore stepped into midair, landing right on my face. And at first I thought, it happened so fast I couldn't hardly stop myself. I tried to catch my balance, but I just couldn't. I landed mostly on my mouth with my lips closed, and I'm lucky I did not split my lip or chip any teeth, but it really hurt, of course. And I also broke my fall with my hand, although at the time my hand didn't hurt, it just had a little cut on it. And my knees, while they were bruised, they weren't damaged that much either. It was mostly my face, and immediately my lips swelled up. Like I said, my teeth felt like they had been knocked out, but they were still there. They weren't loose, really. They were a little loose. My sisters came to my aid immediately, lots of passersby, and of course the people at the grocery store came and gave me ice, and someone, even a medical person, came and kind of assessed me. I hadn't lost any consciousness, and after I don't know how much time, I was able to get up and go back to the condo with my sisters. And we went out that night for dinner, even though I could not hardly eat anything because my lips were so swollen and my teeth hurt. I did get a nice frozen margarita. That was easy to get down. Went home, went to bed. My hand was hurting throughout the night. Woke up to a big fat swollen hand that was bruised and went to urgent care. The doctor x-rayed it. He said, I strongly suspect your hand is broken, but I don't see a fracture. So he put me in this brace, which I've been wearing. He looked at my teeth. He said, I think the swelling will go down. Just put ice on them. It doesn't look like you've chipped anything. Follow up with your doctor when you get home. So I thought, okay, I'll be all right. This was Monday. I was staying till Friday. I thought I'll just rest on the beach. The only problem was I was in a lot of pain. I couldn't eat anything, and I just wasn't having a good time. And I felt bad for my sisters, but I did decide to leave a day early. Went to the dentist when I got home, and they sent me to the orthodontist, who said, well, I don't think you need braces right now. Nothing's really out of place. So let's wait and see a few weeks and reassess. So it's been a few weeks, and while my teeth do seem better, they don't feel like they're in the right place. I feel like I have a little bit of a lisp, and so I think it's because my teeth are out of place. So I may have to get braces. Also saw my orthopedic doctor here at home, who x-rayed my hand again and said, yes, there is indeed a small fracture and you need to wear that brace for a few more weeks. So I have spent the last 4 weeks or so just kind of recovering and taking it easy. And now I'm ready to get back to work. I don't like being injured. I don't think anybody does. And I really hate the fact that I fell. I sometimes feel like I need walking lessons. I mean, babies learn to walk when they're 1 year old, usually. I don't know. I should know how to walk by now. Anyway, it was quite an experience. So, like I said, I'm back now. I'm looking forward to getting back into my sewing room and making some things. I have a lot of things cut out which I have not made either because I lost interest in making them or the seasons changed and the weather wasn't appropriate for what I was going to make. But another thing I did, a little fabric shopping. I'll share that in my next video. Nothing helps improve your sojo like going to the fabric store and touching the fabric, feeling the fabric, thinking about all the things you can make with the fabric. And so I went ahead and bought a little bit. So anyway, that's it for me today. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new to my channel, I hope you like this video. Please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. If you've been watching my channel, if you've been following my channel, I really appreciate you sticking with me and hope you'll come back for more. And please leave a comment below to let me know what you're up to. Again, I hope you're having a great day. Go so beautiful. Bye-bye. Here we go. Feels a little saggy in the bottom.